Hello! So I was going to wait until I got my bookshelf and do all this thing and do this big intro for my booktube channel, this channel clearly, and I was going to do all this stuff and I was going to wait, but then I just finished Fangirl by Rowell and I just have so much to say about this that I didn't think I could wait until I had everything, because then I'm like, I wouldn't remember, it wouldn't be in the moment, I wouldn't have all this feels and emotions and everything about this amazing book. Tuesday I started reading this after I finished Bridges of Madison County by Robert James Waller, and I moved straight on to Fangirl straight away because it was a recent buy, and I was drawn to it, like completely drawn to it. I love books where they kind of like break the fourth wall in a sense. It's about writing, or it's about reading books and stuff like that, and it's a book about a book lover, and you don't get a lot of them, and that really sucks because that is our life. It's something we can relate to entirely. This was just a great book. I completely connected with Kath about her not necessarily her fighting with her sister. All my siblings are younger than me, so I never have that where I'm not talking to them for such a long time or anything, but when she was talking to her dad about not wanting to go back to college, I completely knew that. I have had and still do have a lot of anxiety, and I used to be depressed and all that, and I went through this stage when I was younger where I could not go to school. I was absolutely terrified and all of this stuff, and even though she wasn't absolutely terrified about going back, she thought that she had no real friends there. She was completely embarrassed. She thought that everything she was doing was wrong, and I completely connected, and I cried in that part. And I'm not a big crier, which I wish I was a big crier in, because like I'll read sad things and I'll be like, I want to cry because that's how I feel, but then I don't necessarily cry, and then I can't say that I cried, and then I feel like I'm just no emotions, and I'm just like, no, I have emotions. But yes, so I love this book. It's very relatable, very well written, very easy to read. When I first opened it, because I had read the blurb on the back, and yes, I read the blurb on the back and I started reading, and it didn't start where I thought it would start. It starts on the first day of college or whatever, like going into their dorms and everything, and that's not where I thought it would start off. I thought it would start off with Bren and Kath talking about how they weren't going to be roommates or whatever, but I liked it, so I was a bit, not shocked, but I was a bit like, oh, that's not what I thought was going to happen, but it didn't take too long to fix that and get into it, and I was like fully into it, and absolutely love Levi. He is amazing. Like, the way I feel about him, amazing. And I knew it. What happened at the party, I felt that coming. I was like, no, why would you do that? But then at the same, she wasn't returning his text, and I get, but I'm just like, you went about it the wrong way. And Regan, great character. Love her. I love her that she's not the necessarily average girl. She, in her instance, she's not angry all the time, but she's like that. She's not extremely nice to people all the time. She's not someone that wants everyone to love her. She doesn't necessarily care what all these other people think. And I love that about her, and I love that Kath and her became such good friends, because they're two completely different people, and even Levi is completely different to Regan as well, and they were great friends as well, so it's very well done with all these different characters and stuff. Nick's a bitch. Really didn't like him at the beginning. I was like, yeah, but from the beginning I was like, Levi. And I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work because he's dating Regan. But then clearly he wasn't, and I'm just like, okay, it works, it's all good. And Nick's just a jerk. Really don't like him. And the girl's mum, really don't like her either. Their dad, great, love him. I love that he's crazy. It's just, there's so many different types of characters in this book that it's so hard not to love it. It's just amazing. So that is what I have, that is my feelings and thoughts about Fangirl. I'm so sad that I finished it. I may reread it in the future. It's probably very likely that I will. And I can't believe this is going to be my first video that I put up, because I was so not expecting this. I like literally finished it and I was like, well, I have to do a video on this right now. So I did. So that's what happened, and I'm happy about that. So I should probably go and film like an actual introduction video so you all know who I am. But yes. So great, I can't stop smiling. And it's one of those books, well, in most books you get this way, but there's a lot of, you're fangirling so much in Fangirl that you're just like, oh, you're reading it and something will happen and you'll just like stop and be like, oh my god, and you'll squeal or you'll laugh. It made me laugh a lot, which I really like. And there's oops, I'm falling. There was a lot of very funny things happening. I was like, oh my god. A lot of feels from this, which you have to expect with a book called Fangirl. Like, lived up to my expectations. I'm very happy with this bio. Amazing. Go read it. Now. Go read it now.